Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Brooke and I post beauty and lifestyle related content weekly, and if you want to join this community we've built here on YouTube, feel free to click that subscribe button. I'm sure you know where to find it down below. Today I wanted to show you guys my legs falling asleep. Oh my god. So for today's video, I wanted to show you guys how I achieve my full coverage foundation routine. This is what I will do when I want something that is full beat, full coverage, and will last all day long. I do have oily to combination skin, so this is something that'll help you guys out there if you do suffer from oily skin as well. If you want to see how I achieve this full coverage foundation routine, then just keep watching. Today, we're switching it up. Usually I have my face done and I'm showing you guys how I do my eyes, but today I have my eyes done and I'm showing you guys how I beat my face. The first thing that goes into a flawless base and a full coverage is your skincare. That is one of the most important parts of makeup, in my opinion, is what you use on your skin, how you moisturize, and all that kind of stuff. So I cleansed my face with the IT Cosmetics Confidence in a Cleanser, and then I applied my Purity Moisturizer beforehand, and I let that sit on while I did my eyes. It's important to let your moisturizer set and sink into your skin to make sure that you are not trying to move your base around. You want to make sure that your skincare is down, your face is moisturized, and everything has set in the skin before you move on to your foundation. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, what I will be doing is priming my face. That is the first step I always do with my face besides moisturizer. And for today I will be using the Smashbox So Chill Coconut Primer Water. I love this stuff. It smells so amazing, but it feels so nice and refreshing on the skin while helping your makeup stay on all day long. I could take a bath in that stuff. It smells so good. So the second step in getting a full coverage foundation or a full coverage base is going to be color correcting. That is if you need it. Most people need it. The majority of people do not have perfect even skin. So I will be doing that in the form of another primer today. As you can see, the main discoloration on my face will be the redness I have. So I have a couple of breakouts going on, and I just have some rosacea on my cheeks and kind of some redness around my nose. So for that, I'm going to be going in with this Givenchy primer. This is not necessary, this primer, however it really is incredible. I love this, and for the longest time I couldn't do my makeup without this. It really does correct the redness without showing that green through. I find a lot of times color correctors don't really color correct because that product just shows through whatever you put on over top of it. But I find this really does color correct. It sinks into the skin really nicely, and it allows my makeup to stay on all day long. So I'm going to put this where I feel I need it, which is going to be on my cheeks, my chin, and like I said, a little bit around my nose and my forehead. So basically low-key everywhere. Another thing I recommend for getting your full coverage and the best wear out of your makeup is letting each product that you put on your skin set before you move on, because you want to make sure that everything gets a chance to sink into the skin and kind of dry so that you're not moving things around and messing the base up. So you can also color correct with a correcting wheel. I have this Morphe color corrector right here. As you can see, it has all the shades needed to color correct. However, I skipped this today because I did use that color correcting primer. Find what works best for you and stick to it. That would be my best advice for color correcting. Moving on to foundation, now that everything has set, I will be going in with a full coverage foundation today because I do want the most coverage possible. I will be using my new favorite full coverage foundation today, which is the Tarte Shape Tape Foundation. This stuff is theBalm.com. I have mine in the matte version because I do have more oily to combination skin. They also make a hydrating version of this, which I know is super popular as well. I love Shape Tape in general just because it's so moisturizing, so lightweight, and so full coverage at the same time. I really haven't found anything this past month or two since I started using my Shape Tape products that compares. So that is just what I have to say about that. I love Shape Tape. It is theBalm.com. So for your application, the tool that you will be doing your application with, I recommend using a brush for a full coverage look, particularly something that is a bit more dense. I would not recommend using a sponge if you are going for full coverage because of the fact that a sponge does soak up some of the product. You won't be getting the fullest coverage possible because, like I said, it will soak some of that up. So my favorite foundation brush for the past, I feel like, ever, this is the Morphe M439. What I love so much about this brush is it is dense, so it allows you to pack on and blend in the product without taking away too much of that coverage. Sometimes when I feel like I need it, I will go in with my Bye Bye Under Eye by It Cosmetics, which is more of a correcting full coverage concealer. It's more of a corrector for me because I get mine in the shade medium, which has more of a peachy salmon tone to it, which really helps to cancel out the darkness under my eyes. So I will be going in with this product today. I love this. I really feel like some days I can't do my makeup without it, especially when I'm super tired. So I like to apply this with my finger because it is more of a creamy consistency. It is on the thicker side since it is a full coverage concealer. I'm just going to be focusing this right on my under eye right here, and you will see right as I start applying this how full coverage it is and how it really does help to correct and brighten the under eye. The next step is concealing, so I'm going to be using my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. Like I said, this is very full coverage and I love the Tarte Shape Tape line. I will be putting this under my eyes and down the center of my face to help balance that highlight. I love the way these two products pair together, as well as the way this goes over top of that corrector I just put down. Even though that corrector is thicker and a bit more creamy and full coverage, this concealer blends so nicely over top of it. It doesn't cake up, it doesn't clump or anything like that, and it blends out so nicely. I'm going to be blending this out with my Morphe E8 brush. Okay, so now that I have all of the liquid products down, we're going to go in and set everything so that it stays all day long, and I will be using a tinted powder which will help to add a little bit extra coverage, even though I really don't feel like I need it because as you can see my face looks pretty even and flawless. So the first thing I will be doing is setting my under eyes. If you watch my videos, you know what powder I will be using, and that is the RCMA No Color Powder. I have this in my Laura Mercier container just because it is super convenient. So I am just going to tap this powder onto my under eye and then swipe it away. I will not be baking. Feel free to bake if you want to. I actually really don't bake ever anymore, just because I feel like I don't really need it, and my under eye has been a bit on the drier side over the winter months, so I've just kind of been skipping that step altogether because ain't nobody trying to look like crumpled up tinfoil. Honestly, like, why do I always laugh at my own jokes? Now I will be applying my BareMinerals BarePro powder in the shade Warm Natural. I love this stuff because it does have a nice tint to it, however it is lightweight, so I feel like I can build this up in areas that I need it, or I can just use it to quickly set my face, and either of those work with this powder. I'm just going to tap this over my face here. I like to tap to add coverage instead of buffing and kind of blending away. When I'm going for full coverage, I like to tap the product and really work on pushing it into the skin. And always, always, always make sure you bring your products down your neck. That is a must. You don't want a floating face, ladies. It is not cute. We've all been there, but let's leave that in the past. Let's leave that negativity behind us and let's blend it all down the neck. So now I will be taking my Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit. I will be dipping into the shade Fawn, which is this middle shade right here, and I will be contouring my face with that. I will be using my Morphe R10 brush to do this. I love using this brush for this purpose because it is such a nice shape and it really allows me to get into the contours of my face. So I'm just going to go around and lightly contour the perimeters of my face. For bronzer today, I will be using my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I love, love, love this stuff. It is beautiful. I'm just going to be applying this onto the perimeters of my face in the general area where I contoured, just not as specifically focused in those contours, more just right over them. Once again, like I said, always bring it down the neck, and if you're pale enough and you have to, feel free to bring that onto your chest. Alright, so now that I feel more like a human and more bronzed and not the same color as my background, I will be going in with blush. So I hate how I always say going in. I'm going to be using the NARS blush in the shade Deep Throat today. That is this shade right here. I will be applying that onto my face with my Morphe G9 brush. I love using this brush for blush just because it is the perfect shape. I like to apply this right above my bronzer because I find that when I smile or if I apply it to the apples of my cheeks, it pulls the face down, at least particularly it pulls my face down a bit. And if you do smile and put blush on, you're smiling and your cheeks are up higher, but then it's going to drop. So that does tend to pull your face down. I like to apply my blush in more of an angled position, if that makes sense. I'm not using the right terminology. I like to apply my blush more on the angled side right above my bronzer, but not too high to where I would be putting my highlight. So just right about here, and then I will tap that blush on. As you can see, I'm just going in this like angled area right here. So for highlight today, I will be taking this Miss Liberty highlight from the same palette. I will be spraying my face with some MAC Fix Plus beforehand to help this highlight pop even more. So I just spray a quick spritz of this on my face, and then while it is still wet, I will go in with the highlight and apply that to that area. This highlight is kind of like just not doing it for me. It's kind of like a little chunky. That sounds really gross. That's not the right word. It's a little choppy. So I'm gonna step away from that and dip into my BareMinerals by theBalm. I'm sorry if you guys are sick of me using this, but I really, really love it so much. It is just like that extra highlight. My face is still wet, so I'm just gonna go in over top with this BareMinerals highlight and even things out a bit. And I like to put my highlight in this shape right here. So naturally when you sweat, you kind of get a little bit of a highlight right around here. And so I like to go a little bit above my brow bone onto my brow bone, and then I like to just bring it around in this area right here. This is just personal preference. I don't always bring it up above my temple, but sometimes I like to. I'm also going to put a bit of this on my nose and on the tip of my nose, on my Cupid's bow. And then you can also put a little bit on your forehead and your chin. However, I normally stay away from that because I do get oily, like I said. Normally I don't even really put highlight on my nose on a day-to-day basis because I do get oily. I'm just doing that for the purpose of the video, and it does look really nice. So this completes my face routine and my full coverage routine. However, I do want to finish off this look for you guys because I don't do my under eye before I do my foundation, so that I can bring those under eye products all the way up to my lash line. So the first thing I'm going to do is just line my eyes with my Marc Jacobs Highline Gel Crayon Eyeliner. This stuff is not my favorite just because the staying power is, it doesn't stay all day long. However, it is closest to me, so that's why I'm using it. So the palette I used on my eyes today is my Modern Renaissance palette by Anastasia. So I will be taking this palette, what is that always happening? I will be taking the shade Love Letter, and I will be blending that onto my lower lash line. And then afterwards, I will apply a quick coat of the Better Than Sex Mascara by Too Faced. I just stabbed myself in the eye. Alright, and then I'm not sure if you can tell on camera, I do have ombre liner on. It goes from a brown to a red shade or a pinky red shade. So I actually used this Jeffree Star Velour liquid lip in the shade I'm Shook to achieve that pink liner. So I'm going to finish off the look with this on my lips just to tie everything together. Alright you guys, so this completes today's video. I hope you guys liked it. I wanted to do a little something different and stray away from the eyes and focus more on the face today. And I wanted to show you guys how I make my makeup last all day long while having oily skin and still achieving a full coverage. So if you guys liked today's video, please feel free to click that thumbs up button down below, as well as the subscribe button and the bell button to get notified when I post. And leave comments down below letting me know what kind of content you guys want to see, because I want to film what you guys want to watch, and the only way I can do that is if you guys let me know. So feel free to drop some comments down in the comment section below, and I will see you guys in the next one.